Boom. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profit. I'm Conor Mack. He's the great Maxwell Smart in his Houston long sleeve, kicking ass in the first half early there. Looking a little bit like Houston of last year, Max, in that game early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with Houston, their motto is physicality, toughness, and never let your opponent beat you. And the way that they get on the glass, they've been showing that. So hopefully we see some more of that today.
Let's get to today, because yesterday wasn't that good. Let's go over mine, and then we'll shoot to you. Ohio State played one of their better games. They got it done. That was bad. The one was Hofstra. That hurt. That first half was pretty good. You're up by 4. I felt pretty good. I had a little bit, but the full game was my play on the show here. So that 9.5, they just folded late. They don't have a good defense. We talked about it. They can score and just got down. Lost by 13. That one was a swift kick to the balls. So that was that. Let's get to a little bit of luck I had was with Citadel with 26 in the hook. Barely saved me in that game. 107-81, sorry, in that one. And the last one, we told you, take money line, you take the 3.5. Santa Clara, just a better basketball team right now than TCU. They can really fill up the bucket. So we cashed on that one. 2-2 day, could have been better, could have been worse. What about you, Max? How's yours?
Yeah, I got cock soup. I got a fucking cold bowl of it, 1-4 once again. So fade material is what I am, guys, on this show right now, because trying to choose my best games. And after Harvard's performance, Charleston folding like a folding chair in the second half, and UCLA not getting their team total because they rested guys in anticipation of today's game against Gonzaga, so
yeah,
just have to own it. That's all. Just have to own it. Yeah,
a little bit of a fuck out.
Knock the fuck out.
Little Willie Beeman's favorite.
But I'm back, Connor.
You're back. We're back. You're not gonna run. We're never running. So fuck never. Off to all you guys out there. I don't cuss a lot, but we're here. We own it. We win. We win. We lose. We lose. You will get hot. I know on Jimmy's show you've been doing well. I'm sure you're doing well. You're high volume better, live better. But let's get rolling on the show, and I know you will, because I believe in you. College basketball inside and out. Let's just run through some of the other scores. Some of these teams already, playing in some of these games. You talked about UCLA, didn't get the team total. Kentucky won big. Arkansas, they kind of got up real early, I noticed in that game, hung on. So if people had a push with Arkansas in that one. This is one we'll talk about later. Both these teams, Cincinnati with a big 20-point win. This team looks really, really good. So Cincinnati, 20-point win there. Florida won big over Cal. Cal's not a very good basketball team right now. I got a little static. You're a little static in my ear, Max? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
You sound good to me, bud.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little feedback here. Duquesne beat Bradley by 8. Let's just rip through these because no one wants to talk about yesterday. They want to talk about today. Tulane had an OT win over Drexel. They played Toledo. I think that game's gone off, Max, or is it about to go off?
Yeah, the Toledo game is going to be going off in about 25 minutes.
25 minutes. I lean over between those two teams. I believe it's at 144. I think that game gets in the 80s. What do you think in that one? Do you have anything on there? I just brought it up because that's a bet I had. I took the over.
Yeah, it's definitely a spot that I look at the over. I think that when you look at the game that they played against Charlotte quickly, Toledo definitely got them to play their style. We saw Charlotte play more their style today, even though the result wasn't there. The tempo was. So I do think that Tulane will be able to answer that and play at the similar tempo. So I like the over as well.
Okay, I'm glad I talked that over with you here because that one's popping off. SMU lost. Loyola with the big 6-point win in that one. Creighton 2-point win over Southern Illinois. Penn beat Cornell. Let's get through some of these others. Virginia, obviously the 10-point win over Georgia. Just got the cover in that one. Let's go. This was a bad loss. The under was, we talked about the under, but Lafayette beating Rutgers. Rutgers, whew, this team does not look good day in and day out. Lost by 2 in that one. We talked about Richmond getting Hofstra. That really, really sucked for me. Colorado State just got the cover over Northeastern, won by 10. That's about it. The Florida State covered big. That was one Max, right as we go off the show, that was probably going to be my last play. And they came through big for me last night. Oregon with the big win. We'll get to that one. That one is on my card. Wyoming over Grand Canyon and a few others. UC Riverside over UTEP in another slugfest. Wow, UTEP only 40 points. That was crazy in that one. Providence, 5-point win over Northwestern. Washington State got backdoored. Big lead early. Winthrop came back 92-86 in that one. George Mason lost to Washington. Washington with the 3-point win there. And that's it. St. Mary's beat Notre Dame. We also talked about that in the Oregon game. But let's get to it. Let's get to today, Matt. Let's get to your games. Let's get to your 5 right away. You got Lipscomb, your first one, -2.5 versus Tennessee Tech. Total's 141 here, Max. This is on my card as well. Let's see if we line up. What do you have here?
Yeah, listen, I'm going with Lipscomb here. I do not think that Tennessee Tech, even with a guy like fucking Sela in the middle, that is going to be able to stop this two-headed monster at the 5 spot that Lipscomb has with Ognjenovic and Asadullah. I think that when you look at it, there are 3-point shooters for the Lipscomb team that need to get hot, including Greg Jones. And when you have fucking little KJ Johnson or Kevin Johnson, I can't remember his first name, with the hair that he has, you just need him taking more shots, because if he's not looking for a shot going up against Junior Clay tonight, that could be a deciding matchup personnel wise. When it comes to the numbers, I do think that Tennessee Tech is highly improved, but I just think that if you try and play an up-tempo game against Lipscomb, that is just not going to end well. They shoot the 3-ball fucking very efficiently. They make their free throws. They get to the free throw line, and it's just hard to not go into the bonus against him. I'm looking for Lipscomb to minimize their liability on the offensive glass, make a bunch of free throws, play consistent basketball, and take care of the basketball. And hopefully it is a game that should have been lined a lot higher.
I agree, Max. I think it's a little bit of a bargain at 2. Lipscomb's a team you've played and I played the last couple of years. Have really looked solid. They look great in their last one. It was Dayton. They played that game really good. Great win there in that one. Let's get to your second one. So full game, Lipscomb -2. Got it down. Let's get to your second one here. Wofford. This was a good one. Wofford, South Carolina. South Carolina favored by 3.5. Total 140.5. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, this is a spot where I wanted to double up and I wanted to give Wofford +6, but that number is obviously long gone at 3.5 now. Yeah. I think that when you look at both of these defenses, what you can really expect first off is you have issues with the South Carolina personnel. You may not have AJ Wilson. You may not have Jermaine Cuisinart. Keyshawn Bryan is suspended, not able to come back. Maybe he's able to come back tonight. I'm not sure if he actually plays. So a lot of question marks with their roster. I think that is why the line is moved. But when I look at this Wofford team, this is not a Storm Murphy team anymore. They need to throw the ball down to Max Keysmack. They need to get the ball down to BJ Mack. They need Ryan Larson getting hot from the perimeter. If they don't get a consistent group effort offensively, Wofford games are going to stay under and they're going to be real ugly. I'm hoping for a similar type game. I think that both these teams are going to struggle from the 3-point line. I think that Wofford's 3-point defense comes to play tonight. And listen, if you put Wofford on the line, they're going to score. If you put South Carolina on the line, they're going to score. So you have to just minimize possessions, not get up tempo, and not get into foul trouble, because right now both these teams do not have enough depth. I think that whoever wins the glass is going to win the game. I think Wofford will be able to win this game. I think it's a dirty dog. Unfortunately, with the number the way it is, it's not worth making as an official show pick. I will, though, make an official show pick on the under. I think that South Carolina turnovers lead to a lot of Wofford pull-ups, And I think that we see some nice under basketball like we so far have this year. If you want to give me under 141.5, I would take it. I would take it down until 140.5.
I will give you 141.5. We have it out there, FanDuel, DraftKings. I will give you that. I agree with you. They need a kind of a bad shooting night, like you said here. But I was staring at this one for a while today, going through it. But you can't talk me off an under. When you, me, Noli, we seem to find these games where we see value. I got to agree with you here. I like it as well. Let's get to your next one, 141.5. Let's get to your next one, Delaware, -6.5 versus Fordham. Total 134.5. What do you like here? You like Delaware, Max?
This is a spot where, yeah, I like Delaware, but because the numbers move 3 points, I've definitely had to downgrade the play from a double up to a single first half play. I look at Fordham and I see how improved they are. Kyle Neptune is a really talented coach, and having guards like Antonio Day and Darius Quisenberry is paying dividends early. We saw in the Akron game how they were able to minimize possessions, turn the game into a complete rock fight, that they were being more efficient from the field. Well, now they're going up against a team in Delaware that's got length at the guard position, experience galore, and that chemistry and continuity. I think that the main difference is the amount of scoring that you can get from Delaware's front court compared to what you can get from Chuba Arms and company for Fordham. I think that the difference in the X factor in this game is Dylan Painter. If Dylan Painter leads this team and gives you that 20-10 type game, I think that Delaware covers this number easily, and I think that we dial back our newfound love and expectations for this Fordham Ram team. So when it comes down to it, this is definitely two teams that don't shoot well from the 3-point line. Delaware is the better field goal shooting team. They are the better free throw shooting team. It is going to be a game of who can foul their opponent the least. And at the end of the day, I want to go with a better all-around Blue Hen team, and let's rock and roll. Delaware first half -3.
Excellent. I can only get a 3.5 right now. You okay with that? From what I get.
Conor?
If anyone's out there, by the way, I have like 20 books open, a ton, but I can't get everyone. If someone has a 3, always in the chat, shoot it to us, because that'll help Max out.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. What book? You have it? You there? He's frozen. He's not frozen. You're there? Okay.
I am frozen. I'm there, but I think I'm frozen.
You're there. I can still see it. There we go. You're a little grainy.
I'm there. I got bad internet.
You're here, baby. Now. I can hear you. We're good. We're good. Let's get to your other one here. Your fourth one. Providence, favored by 1.5 versus Virginia. The total all the way down like a Virginia game, 121.5. What did you have here in this one, Max?
Yeah, this is a crazy game, obviously, but we have to remember that this is a different type of Virginia team. If you can shut down Armand Franklin, who Providence have experience going up against, this is a really deep Providence team. I've said it over and over again. There's always a different guy who can star for you on any given night, and it's not the same deal with Virginia. I think Virginia looked really good against Georgia, but they should have looked really good against Georgia. I think that when you look at Providence, this is a team that has a definite better point guard situation with Jared Bynum. He's a scoring guard. He's fucking able to guard without fouling. He's able to play with fouls. And I just think that his ceiling in this game is going to be a lot higher than T.A. Clark. I think that stopping Jaden Gardner obviously has to be the front and foremost option when it comes to the defense, but the rest of this complementary scoring staff just doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence in me. I saw Reese Beekman miss gimme shots all night last night. He should have had fucking 20 points. He ended up with 7. I think that when you look at it, Providence is just going to be able to dominate this game because they can play the same style of defense that Virginia is going to pack line, and they can also fucking score the ball from the field in all 3 levels. It's just hard for me not to like Providence in this spot. I'm riding with Providence -2 or -1.5, whatever you can get me, Connor. And I'm just ready to fuck my eyes open Friar style. It ain't going to be Wahoo time.
For sure. Yeah, I can get you a 1.5. We are good. They're mostly 1.5s out there. There is a 2. Providence, I like it. Fading this Virginia team again is Max in this one. Let's get to your 5th one here. American. This is the team. Max's team, American versus MD Maryland. Baltimore County. Baltimore County's favored by 4.5. Total's 141. What is your look here? I can't wait to hear it. You there? Got frozen, Max. He's frozen. You want to bounce him out real quick?
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a popular look because
you're on. You're good.
Do we want to pull me in and out?
I think we did already. Yeah, bounce him out.
You got me?
All right. We're in.
Okay.
The damn Wi-Fi. What the hell's going on? The homeless? You're just killing that there or what? Oh, shit. You're getting blurry on me. Man, I'm getting psychedelic here.
So with this game, this is a spot where I am looking at America. I have no idea right now.
You're good. I can hear you. Everything's good. You're good. Just keep rocking. You're just blurry. I can hear you.
This is bad.
Just keep going. You can hear me. Can everyone hear me?
All right. So I'm looking at America. I'm looking at American in this spot, Connor, because if they can make jump shots, they can win this game.
Okay. What do you like them here? First half. What do you like?
Bro, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. American. I just went full game. I hear everything.
Hey, Max, why don't you pop on in and we'll hit some of Connor's real quick. Connor, go ahead and
go. Yeah, I can hear. Okay, I'll roll with mine. I can hear him completely fine.
I think he was a couple seconds behind, so every time you would start, he would hear you start talking again.
Wow. Okay, let's get to mine. Yeah, no problem. I'm a lot shorter in mine here in this one. My first one is Kent State versus George Washington. Total, I mean, the spread is 7. The total is 135. There's now 134.5. I'm on the under here. I know sometimes these two teams, the total's a little bit higher. But diving through this, I want the under. Both last teams, both 5 games, they've been under K-State. I don't think these teams shoot it very well. Kent State averaged 60. George Washington, 63. I think this is the first one to 65. I think we have a little bit of value. I mean, if one team gets to 70 in Kent State, I can't lay the 7 with them either. I'd lean to George Washington a little bit, catching the 7. But I think I could see a 70-61 type game. Anything to keep me under 135. I think it stays under here. I've been cashing on a few of these teams with their unders, and I'm going to keep riding it today for my first look. I'm on the under, Kent State, George Washington. Did you have anything in this one, Max?
Yeah, I thought that Kent State definitely had some value to me, but it's just hard for me to back this Malik Jacobs-led Kent State group. They looked really good in that small gym, grabbing some rebounds, scoring some points yesterday, and were quite dominant against James Madison. I just think that when you look at George Washington, they present some definite matchup problems, and getting Hunter Dean back and having a 6'10" guy that can stretch the defense and rebound and give you rim protection is something that's sorely been lacking for GW. So lean towards the dog.
Okay, let's get to my second one here. It is George Mason versus UNR. UNR is favored by 3.5 in this spot. While I'm going to talk about the side real quick. I do like George Mason a little bit. There's just no way. I know they lost last night. There's no way I even want to lay UNR right now winning by 4 points. To me, they're a fade team until they get better. But I'm on the total here. I'm on the over 144. I think this is a little bit light. This UNR defense has been horrible. I mean, they're giving up points crazy. Both teams are shooting it well. George Mason has shot the ball well, and we know UNR can shoot it well. Like George Mason's shooting 48 from 3. UNR is 37, but they'll be able to fill up the bucket. Both teams love to score, get up and down. I thought this total could have been a little bit higher, Max. I think this could have been 148 or 149. I see value in it. I think we get up and over 144. I liked a few overs today. Surprisingly on the card, it's not always like that. But when I see value, I see value. I think this gets up and over the total. I think this game's in the 70s or 80s, at least one team. So give me the over 144. What'd you like here?
Yeah, I like the first half full game over combo as well. I thought that George Mason's really shown me a lot with how Gaines and freaking Schwartz have run this team. But going with UNR, the big news is out of their program today is AJ Braum is no longer on the Wolfpack. So
yep, he's gone.
So getting him out and him playing yesterday and then not playing today, maybe that actually helps Nevada fix things. But we won't know until they get out on the floor. Right now, if you are betting the game, I think that, the value is with George Mason. But the overs are the juicy cupcakes in this game. So love it, Conor.
Yeah, and that was the Robert Morris. He's to transfer, right? He was supposed to be a big part of their team. Yeah, he is out of there from what I looked up in that one. I just like it. I love the over 144 here. Let's get to my third one. Cincinnati, Arkansas. Arkansas is favored by 5. The total 142 here. Man, Cincinnati's just impressing me. I don't know. Illinois is that bad. I guess they are right now. Even getting the big man back, the All-American. I mean, he had 18 points. But Cincinnati, what the biggest key for me is this team is really deep. They're scoring tons of guys. They're athletic. They're not the biggest team. Their problem, we always talked about Cincinnati, was scoring the basketball, right, Max? They'd always be in these dogfight type games. Their defense has always been good. It looks still good, but they've been able to score. Arkansas is a team I love to back at home. This is a neutral game. We talked about it yesterday. It could be in trouble. And they pushed. K-State almost came and backdoored Arkansas last night. Obviously, Arkansas is talented, but they only go, 6-7 guys deep. Obviously, a lot of these games, teams have played back-to-back nights. I get it, but I think I went the deeper, more talented overall. I mean, Arkansas might be talented. They're starting, but I'm shocked how Cincinnati's been this good, especially offensively. I want the 5 points here, just period. I'm not going to lay 5 with Arkansas. Give me the 5 with Cincinnati. What did you have here?
Yeah, I think that I definitely agree with you on the Cincinnati side spot. When you look at freaking how this team is built, they are built to freaking withstand fucking different kinds of lineups and be able to throw out different kinds of lineups. I really like the fact that you do have some good size with this team with Abdullah Doe and freaking Hayden Koval. With both of those guys playing on the floor together or playing separately, I think that you get good enough rim protection. You get just enough threat of scoring. I think that you do need to get a little more consistency out of some of your guards like Johnny Newman. But I really like this group. I think that they're going to come to play tonight. And I don't think that last night was a fluke beating Illinois.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it is either. Like I said, I like Arkansas. I like them a lot better at home. We'll see. They might run them out of the gym. That's why we gamble. That's why we do this stuff. But I'll take the points with Cincinnati. I think it's a little bit of value here. Let's get to my fourth one. This is a team I haven't bet on yet. Oregon's favored by 2 versus St. Mary's. The total's 131. St. Mary's had a good win last night with Notre Dame. Obviously, Oregon, big, 173, I think 49 last night. Everything with Oregon's just been okay. Obviously they got beat down by BYU, and I haven't bet on Oregon all year. But, they just 67% from the foul line, 32% from 3. They've just been ho-hum. But I think Richardson, Young, Williams, they're just more athletic than St. Mary's. So in the end, is this a trap with the 2? I don't give a shit. I'm going to lay the 2 points with Oregon. St. Mary's wants to lull them to sleep, obviously, grind this out. They're a team that wants to play in the 60s. There's no secret with that. And they'll try to do that here. But I want the more talented team. And for the first time, I'm going to back Oregon, laying the 2 points against St. Mary's. What did you like in this one?
Yeah, after watching that St. Mary's game last night, it was just a whole bunch of opportunities that weren't seized and taken advantage of. I am definitely hoping that Oregon has thought long and hard about how they're going to play and come out tonight, because even when they came out against Shaman Day, they did not come out fucking proper. I'm waiting for this team to put it together, because on paper, they have all the kinds of talent of the group from last year, but on the floor, they haven't shown me and proved to me yet. I think that you have to take a side. I take Oregon money line. I got to take the team that can play defense and the team that can have the size and Fonte to score down low.
Yeah, I also lean under a little bit in this one. Not a lot of value to me. Total's 131.5. If I had to take on the total, free bet, I lean under. I take the under in this spot. Let's get to my fifth one here. We're going up to Portland. We're going up to the Northwest, where my brother's from. Shout out to my brother. We got the Portland Pilots, Portland State Vikings. Vikings favored by 6, total 147. This is a great rivalry game, Max. And I don't think Portland State is 6 points better than Portland here. I know they're at home. To me, this is a pick 'em. Maybe Portland State's favored by a point or two, obviously being at home. In the past few years, a Portland team that's probably been a little bit worse than Portland State, they beat them 2 straight years. One was by 13, by 7. And then the 2 years before that, Portland State won by 9, and they won by 5. I got to take the points here. To me, I was shocked that they're laying 6 here. But obviously, both teams got some new coaches. Porter's out of there. We talked about, I think, this last week a little bit about Portland. But I love it here. Give me the 6 points. I'm not going to mess with the total. Obviously, these teams can score at times and get over this number. But just give me the +6 with Portland with the Pilots here. What do you like here?
Yeah, I agree with you with Portland. I think that the value definitely was on the opener. I think that there is value on the first half money line if you want to take a plus money dog. And then when it comes to the under, that's what I'm more looking towards in this game, just because I think that when you have Shante Leggins coaching with this roster, they just can't really – I don't really think that is in their best interest to get into an up and down game. They want to be efficient and effective in the half court. They want to turn you over, take transition opportunities, but not try and play a Winthrop type pace. And when you look at Portland, you know, they also have a lot of continuity, having 3 or 4 guys from Eastern Washington that are playing significant minutes in Meadows, Robertson, and Perry. So it just checks off a lot of the boxes that I like. The problem for them will be how they contain Khalid Thomas. If they're able to stop him from beating them down low, you know, I think that Portland can win this game outright. So rivalry games, unexpected things happen.
I agree. I think it's worth, if you like my side a little bit, to put some on the money line as well. And there's 6.5s out there too. So BetMGM, there's a few other places as well. FanDuel that have the Westgate Sportsbook, they have 6.5 with Portland. So I'm going to take it. I think this could only be a possession or 2. So I want the points. Let's get back to your last one, Max, your American against Baltimore, since you cut out. And then after that, we'll hit commercials and get to all the questions of the game. So give me your last one, since you were cutting out there, the American game.
Yeah, apologize for that. I think that there were some possible freaking I guess you'd call it intellectual property thefts going on in the area, and my internet got used up. So I'm back, I'm ready, and I'm hungry for some cupcakes. And this game is a real interesting one, because with UMBC, they are coming off a pretty bad loss, so you are going to see maybe a better result. And I think that with them being at home, that really doesn't sway me too much, because they're not really that great of a home court team to begin with. I think that when you look at this roster, not having Ryan Odom as a coach definitely takes away some of their flair. But with American, it's really all about them, because UMBC, they have a former American player, Jacob Bunyasith, on their team. So I think American wants to take it right to their former teammate. And with my guy, Darnell Rogers, who is the shortest guy in Division I basketball, you know, if you stop him from the 3-point line, he's not really going to try and go inside a whole bunch unless there's a clear lane to get inside. So I just love American in this spot. I think as long as they can hit jump shots, which is the name of the game for them every game that they play, that they can not only stay in it, that they can win it. And if Johnny O'Neal, my hopeful X factor for this American team, comes to play, well, maybe we can get a fucking nice little +5, +4.5, whatever you can get me cover.
I can get you a 5. Actually, there's a 5.5 at FanDuel, and I just refreshed my.
I'll take
thing.
the 5.5. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I'll take the 5.5 of two teams that don't shoot threes, Connor. I love that. So
excellent. American full +5.5. I love it. I love the breakdown of that game. I love that you are the governor of these, Max. But let's get to it. I can't wait to get to the questions. We're going to get to the big game. Obviously, I knew everyone's going to start talking about it. But let's get to the sponsors right now. Let's get to the commercials. Hit it. All righty. Everyone go to Southtown 101 if you're in the San Antonio area. Great karaoke, booze, great time, great food, burgers, sports, fun time there. Hit it. They support Bub Sports Radio. We support them. No doubt. Go to mybookie.ag, hit promo code Pub Sports. Use the Bitcoin. You put 1,000, they match you back with 1,000. If you don't, if you use your debit or credit, you put 1,000, they match you 500. And go to manscaped.com, promo code Pub Sports, 20% off. Get the lawnmower 4.0. Keep everything clean, shaved, tucked down there. All the good shit. Keep it clean down there. Get the whole kit though. Don't even mess around with the 4.0. Get the whole man fucking kit they got going there. And Pub Sports Radio, the pub rub. Get it on your chicken, on your steaks. It's great. 2 for $25. Don't get one for $14.99. Get both of them there. Get it. Got it. Good. All right, Max, let's get to the big game. I know everyone wants to talk about it. Here we go. Gonzaga, UCLA, rematch of the Final Four. Obviously, this game went to OT, tied at 79. Suggs hit the big shot. Gonzaga's favored by 7 here, 7.5. Totals 155. Break it down here, Max, and then I'll go right after you. Break it down. You on mute?
I want to just go the way that I've been going with Gonzaga games and just continue to attack it like that. I think we're going to have to see the best performance of the year that we're going to see out of Drew Timme and, of course, Chet Holmgren. But I think it's more important to talk about what we're going to get from the backcourt and from the wings. You need Julian Strawther. You need Andrew Nembhard to be your first guys. And you need Rasir Bolton to have a big game. He just seems to be quiet to me, and you just need more scoring from your guards because let's be brutally honest. Eventually, defenses are not going to allow these forwards to fucking grab a defensive rebound and go coast to coast for a layup. It's just not going to work out. I think that with this game, I want to bet the over. I want to be on the over betting this game, but Mick Cronin and that redheaded touched by the devil hair of his, makes me think about it. It's like, Conor, does he want to fucking play an under game? Because that's what would make sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet the under. I don't want to bet UCLA. I just want to wear their apparel and look good in it.
Yes, that they do have great apparel, UCLA. This one for me, I can't take the under as well. Do you remember that game last year? I mean, it was like a rock. It still got there, Max. It went to OT 70. It still just crept over in the last minutes. Obviously, it went to OT, and that made. But the 79-79 got it just over, and that looked like an under early on. Gonzaga can just score at will. I think UCLA will be able to score on Gonzaga. Gonzaga's had such a good Mark Few early on. He wins these games early on. Remember the Texas game? People thought Texas might be in it. You know, they keep going. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut in, but I agree with what you're saying, but you have to recognize the fact that they don't have a Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert hit a lot of fucking shots, started a lot of runs, did a lot of things off the ball that you don't have going on with this Gonzaga team this year. So they're going to have to raise their level to get to where that team last year was, because they're not like it. So that's my opinion of it.
Yeah, all year Kispert was great, but I think he didn't play big at all in that game against UCLA. But yeah, you're right. They don't have a guy like that. So this is tough for me. Man, when I see points like this, I want to take it. But like I was saying, Gonzaga's been so good early on in the year. I wonder what Few's record is in November and December. I mean, usually they just kick ass, and then they always struggle in March, you know, and they can't get it done. So to me, I couldn't play the under. I'd only play the over, even at 155. And gun to my head, I'd take the points with UCLA. I'm not going to play it, though. This is just not a game I want to play. I don't want to go against Gonzaga. It could burn me. So this is one I'm not going to bet. But, yeah, I lean over, though. I still think it can get there. You talked about UCLA. Yeah, they kind of I think they were saving up for this game last night against Bellarmine, and they only scored 75 points. But let's get to the questions. Let's get to it. Let's get to the first one. Kennesaw versus Wake Forest. Wake Forest favored by 19. Did you have anything here, Max?
Yeah, this is a spot where I'm on the Wake Forest first half over and the Wake Forest team total over.
Okay. How about South Dakota -6 versus Washington?
South Dakota State versus Washington's definitely an interesting matchup, but watching Doug Wilson make 9 for 11 from the throw line gives me a lot of warm and fuzzy feelings. And if they can shoot over the zone and not have to beat Washington on the glass, you know, I think that we can allow Terrell Brown and Dejon Davis to fucking get into the paint and drop a couple teardroppers. I like South Dakota State. I think Jackrabbits are going to be escaping the Wolves. Yeah,
I agree as well. Glorious. Let's get to this one. St. Francis, St. John's. St. John's -27. Do they just roll here? Score 95?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's a team total over spot. It's a St. John's full game spot, and it's a full game over spot because it could end up being 100-55. So,
okay. Let me keep it going here. This is one I wanted to talk about real quick. Just keep throwing the questions in here. We got about 15 minutes left. I wanted to talk about this one, Max, was the Northern Colorado, San Jose State. Northern Colorado's favored by 4.5. There's some fours, total 137, 136.5. Did you have anything here?
Yeah, listen, I thought that there was some definite value taking San Jose State on the first half. If we're going to see a rebound performance from the Texas game, it is going to start early. And what do we know about Northern Colorado? They're a team that is very good betting at halftime. So I thought that I'd split the game up into two. I like the under in the game. Both teams have been playing unders in this point range, but it did move 3 or 4 points off the opener. So I felt that I missed the best of the line. And then there was a little fucking guy on my shoulder that was saying, take the over. So had to fight that power. And I just think that San Jose State has a much less difficult matchup guard-wise and depth-wise going up against Northern Colorado than they do going up against Texas. So this is just situational rebound spot.
All right. Tyler, as Louisiana Marshall game, did you have anything in that one?
Yeah, I like ULL in that spot. I just think that Marshall, while I do love Tavion Kinsey and think he's a future NBA player, I'm not satisfied with what I'm seeing scoring-wise from this front court. And plain and simply, I just don't think that Andrew Taylor and Kinsey can score enough and win games and cover numbers. So I'll give the benefit of the doubt to ULL in this matchup, but it's definitely a short leash with them. And if I don't like what I'm seeing early, I will live bet my fucking way out of it into a fucking profit.
Let's get to this other big game. How right now do you lay 9? with Illinois taking on K-State's 9.5, total 135 around there, 135.5. Did you have anything here?
Yeah, this number, I don't have a bet on this game. I'll just say this, that the number was at 11 and 11.5 this morning. It was absolutely crazy. I wish that I got on it at that number. I think that K-State has backdoor coverability all day. They're just going to have to run out Davian Bradford, their 7-foot sophomore center, a little more than 14 minutes like he got last night, but he may have just been being rested for this game. I think that when you look at K-State, they got some decent fucking guards in Nigel Pack and Mike McGurl. But if they don't get a nice performance from their Wake Forest transfer and Mucius, you need something coming from the front court scoring wise, and that's the guy that has to be the star up there. But you give me a free bet, I take K-State.
Yeah, me too. Shit. Illinois can only go up, I think, from here, and they got to get better, but there's just no freaking way. Do I want them right now at all? Who's this, Steve? Yeah, George Mason, Nevada. This was part of my 5. I am on the over, 144 here. So we'll run through our games again at the end, but I am on the over in that one. Douglas, I lean George Mason in the 3.5 to answer your question. What do you think, Max? I mean, we talked about it a little. I don't want to lay right in that. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, George Mason or pass.
Okay. Yeah, we just hit this Northern Colorado. Let me keep rolling here. Okay, let's get to a few more before we get out of here. This was one. Columbia, Lehigh. Lehigh's favored by 7.5. Total 139.5. Did you like anything here?
Yeah, I like Columbia. I'm just not prepared to lay numbers with Lehigh even at home. I think that this is a game that very well could find its way over 140.5. I do like the pace and tempo that Columbia is playing with. And when it comes to definitely, I guess I forgot his fucking name, but something Rubio De La Rosa. This is the guy that needs to be fucking leading this offense. There's multiple guys that can handle the ball and score, but this is the guy that's got to facilitate if Columbia wants to pull the upset. And they're definitely a candidate to pull an upset. And I can't remember who Lehigh just lost to at home, but it was a similar spot, similar number, hopefully a similar result. And that game was against NGIT. So,
yes. Thank you for looking that up. Rolly Hernandez, what's up? Yeah, Max is on Providence. That's one of his 5 games. And Leroy, we talked Oregon St. Mary's. That's on mine. I am on Oregon. I laid the 2. I hope they can get it done. In that one, let's keep going here. Rhode Island, Florida Gulf Coast. Rhode Island's favored by 4.5, total 140.5. Anything here?
Yeah, this is a spot where I thought that Florida Gulf Coast at 6 had a lot of value. I think that this could be a first half money line dog spot. Hopefully Florida Gulf Coast can deliver a nice performance at home and deliver it for 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes like their game against USC. I really like the talent of Tavion Dunn-Martin. I love the fact that he changes the pace and tempo of this offense. You just need to get some good resistance on the defensive end from your rim protector and TCU transfer Kevin Samuel. And when you look at it, Caleb Cato, it's time to start. It's time to step the fuck up. You stayed on. Now you got to fit into this new offense, and I think that he needs to step up. If he does tonight, could be a fucking straight up win for Florida Gulf Coast.
Ooh, okay. Wow. All right. Let's get to Jackson State, Indiana. One thing, I just don't love laying 25 in Indiana. I don't know what it is. Did you have anything here?
Yeah, I got on this game first thing in the morning, so this is the first half full game play to me. My numbers had Indiana winning this game by 30. So I'm not going to tell you to take the ass end of the line, but by my number, there's still a couple points still left of wiggle room there. I just think Indiana's defense is going to fucking come to fucking play. Rob Finisi may not play today. That's definitely a loss. But I think that you got enough fucking point guard depth that you can overcome that. I think that Xavier Johnson and Trace Jackson Davis, they lead this team, and hopefully you get another fucking really good offensive and shooting performance from Parker Stewart, the UT Martin transfer. Guy lost his dad. He's playing inspired basketball, playing for his dad, fucking watching him from above, and that's a guy that you got to fucking root for, and I'm rooting for him tonight. So load up in your fucking DFS on some Parker Stewart because he's going to have 3-point shooting opportunities all night.
Okay. Kev Riley, you can get 1.5 though with Providence. I know you're saying it's 2.5 and 2.5 with Oregon. There's still 2s with Oregon and 1.5 with Providence. But I mean, shop around. I try to find the better number there. Let's get to North Carolina, AT&T versus Stanford. Stanford laying the big number, 17 total. 132.5, 133 in certain spots. Did you have any look here?
No, nothing that
okay.
Nothing.
This is one other one I wanted to touch on if they're going through a little on the extra board. Bellarmine, Central Michigan. Central Michigan's favored by 6.5 here. I thought this game was interesting. Max total 145.5, 146. Anything here?
Yeah, I thought that Bellarmine was the favorite.
Oh, is it? Sometimes they flip on games, so I'm sorry.
No, I thought that Bellarmine opened as a 7.5 point favorite. It's down to 6.5.
Yeah, you might be right. I just sometimes they mess up on the thing I'm looking at.
Okay,
they flip, they flipped the game. So sorry if every once in a while if I read it wrong, just tell me. Like if I read it off theirs.
I think that with this Bellarmine game, it's definitely a potential overspot with the way that Central Michigan plays, but I'm just not sure that Central Michigan's going to have the scoring to fucking score on this Bellarmine defense. They're probably coming off a high last night, playing a pretty solid game against UCLA, and I don't think that there was more than one guy that was in double figures against Gonzaga. So it's a real crapshoot. I would probably take the points with the dog, and I'd take the over just because if it's close, there's going to be fouling, and I'm sick of losing unders because of late game fouling.
Okay, thanks. Let me know every once in a while that's going to happen because they mess up. They flip it, I think, on the wrong team. Let's get to this one. I'm going to touch Nick. Long Island versus St. Peter's. St. Peter's favored by 9, total 135.5.
Yeah, I think that with Long Island, it's just a matter of time before Isaac Conte and Ty Flowers figure it out. Not having Jermaine Jackson and Vershawn Cotton is definitely showing with their backcourt scoring. And I think that this is a spot where, they may end up playing St. Peter's pace and tempo. And we know from watching St. Peter's, while they're solid defensively, their guards are undersized and sometimes they're very ineffective from the perimeter shooting the basketball. I have to look towards Long Island in this spot, and I gotta look for a freaking rock fight. So, definitely had that game and that total validated by a certain master Jedi of unders. Shout out to him, but yeah, it's under and dog for me or pass.
I like to hear that, especially when the Jedi is on it. Let's get to this huge number: Nebraska Omaha versus Texas Tech. They're laying 30, total 141, 140 in that range. Anything here?
Yeah, it's an under and it's a dog or pass spot. I'm not going to lay 30 points with Texas Tech. I like this team. I like their positionless basketball that they play, but they're working Terrence Shannon back in after his issue with whatever. I can't remember what it was. And I just think that this is a spot where if it was 25 points, then okay, I'll take it. But at 30, you need a lot to happen, even though they'll end up probably winning this by 31 just to spite me.
I know, but you need a lot to have. I mean, shit, there ain't no way I'm doing that. Sacramento State, this is from Douglas. Sacramento State versus UC Davis. Davis is favored by 8. I thought this was an interesting one. What'd you like here?
Yeah, I definitely like the under in the first half, but I do think that the second half will turn it up and score. And I think getting a 4-point reduction in the line to cement that is going to play into our hands. I think that we watch what happens when UC Davis can score the basketball. We watch to happen what UC Davis does when they can't score the basketball. And if they want to have games more like the Eastern Washington game instead of the game against Pepperdine, well, then we know what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to fucking put some fucking balls in the bucket. And I think that when you look at this team, they're definitely missing freaking, listen, who do they lost a Canadian, Damian Squire. They're definitely missing him. I think that you do have a lot more pressure on Ezra Mangin and Elijah Pepper. And I just think that when you look at this front court, you need someone else to step up instead of Anegwe. He's done a great job, he's coming off a fucking almost 20-10 game, but you need more balance and you need someone else to step up for UC Davis. I think that this is an over spot to me. I think it's a first half under spot, and play the game like it's two totals within one.
All right. Yes, I like it. Let's get to this. A few people have asked us. I love it. You can go over the Central Connecticut State versus Maine. Maine's favored by 5.5, total 127. Right there, 127.5. Anything here?
Yeah, it's a game where I have to look at unders first half and full game to start with, and it's just a game where I don't feel comfortable laying points with Maine. I think that Central Connecticut State team, while they are not good, Patrick Sellers has his team playing a little better, a little more efficient, a little smarter on the floor. Shot selection has been better, and I think that as long as it doesn't come down to free throws, they can stay in it. But if they leave points at the free throw line like they've been doing, it's going to be tougher for them to cover this number. Maine on their side, they're not shooting the ball from the 3-point line at all. It's putrid. And there's a bunch of Canadians on that team, so it's actually even more embarrassing. I'm not even gonna fucking shout them out; they don't even deserve it.
Don't shout them out.
So I just think that when you look at it, this is like a first half under, full game under type deal. And if you want to take the points with the home team, I'm not gonna hate you, but I won't be doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay off after hearing that from you. Okay, Remos. Yeah, I'm not huge on the best bet thing, but yeah, the George Mason UNR, I'd say that'd be my best look of the night. Tyler, best bet Lipscomb. I mean, we're both on it. Me and Max both took it. We both approve. Take that how you want it. But I like it. Uncle Oliver, shout out to our guy here in the chat. We just went over it. Max does like Long Island a little bit and the under in that one, right, Max? The 9?
Yes, I do.
Beautiful, yeah. So he likes the dog, Long Island there, and the under. And that one's from a Jedi Master of Unders. You might know him. He knows. So, and Rolly, he says Gonzaga. You think they win and cover tonight? We went over that. I'm off. What do you think, Max? You think they win and cover?
I'm not going to take the ass end of the line. I'm already learning that mistake from the Houston game.
Yeah, it's a game I'm off as well. But if you gave me a free pick,
well, no, if you gave me the 5.5 that was available last night, I'll take that. I'm not going to take the 7.5 now.
Yeah, but we're at now at the 7. I agree with you, and it's not enough for me with UCLA. I'm just saying free bet for me. I'm not betting the game. I take UCLA, but I want 10 to feel comfortable. Just for the, for shits there. We went over NCAA and Stanford. There's a few more games. I just want to get to them. One was here, Max. It was Hartford, Merrimack -4. There's a 3.5 at FanDuel. Total all the way down to 120.5. What's your look here?
Yeah, this is a first half under spot for me. I think that when you look at this Merrimack team, we know what it is. They're ball hawking. They're going to be relying on the 3-point line. They're not going to have a lot of depth, and they're going up against a Hartford team that is really trying to figure out its identity, and not having DeJuan Clayton and possibly Austin Williams in the lineup definitely hurts this team. I think that it just puts a lot more pressure on Moses Flowers. And DJ Mitchell, and I just don't think that that's a recipe for success long term. We seen them get Blair Mack in the first half also.
Okay, let's get to this one. A couple more. Stephen F. Austin, Buffalo. I believe this one tips off here in just a few minutes. Buffalo's favored by 5. The total, I think, is around 154.5. Anything here?
Yeah, a lot of love for Stephen F. Austin. Power to them. They've knocked off some fucking teams pretty fucking handily in their recent history, but this is not that team of those fucking monumental wins like the one against Duke. This is a Buffalo team that is fucking old. They are fucking seasoned. They are fucking grizzly. They are grizzly. And with the way that they dominate the offensive and defensive glass, it's hard for me to not like them against a Stephen F. Austin team that does not have the size to compete with them. It could be a fucking slap in the face once we get on the floor, but I thought Buffalo at 4.5 earlier was a good line. Right now, I would probably suggest just laying off of it, playing it live, but I was on Buffalo this morning. That's what I bet.
Yeah, I like that. That could be a good game there. I have nothing on it. Total's huge at 154.5. Yeah, George Mason, UNR, I'm over the 144. Kev Riley, and I'd lean to George Mason if I had to take a side. But let's just get through them right now. Everyone, you can hear it the last couple of minutes. Max, I want you to go over your games, what you're betting. I'll go over mine, and we'll get the hell out of here. You there? You on mute?
Yeah, I'm on American plus 5.5, Providence -2. Yeah, do you hear me now?
Yep. I hear you loud and clear.
Connor.
I hear you.
He's lagging again.
Okay, American plus 5.5, Providence -2.
That's all you, Conor.
Okay. Let's get to mine. Max is a little lagging. He's got a little Wi-Fi issue going on. Let's get to my first one. Kent State, George Washington. I'm on the under 135. There's 134.5, so I think you're fine. I'm just going off these teams in the unders. They just keep playing them. I think this game is in the mid-60s maybe. So I'm on the under as my first look. George Mason, UNR. I'm on the over 144. I saw value in this line. I thought it was a little light. I think this game is 70s. Both teams in 70s, maybe 80s even. So I saw value. I saw at least 5 points. I thought this total would be 149 or so. So I'm on the over there. I'm riding with Cincinnati. I just think 5's too many. Arkansas not at home on a neutral court. I'm going to ride Cincinnati. Let's see it. I think 5's too many there for my third. My fourth, I'm going with Oregon. First time I bet them all year. I think this is a spot. Buy low, -2. I do like this St. Mary's team in certain spots. And they're going to try to slow this down. I hope Oregon, they're just more athletic. I think they're deeper. And in the end, they can get this small 2-point cover here. And last, I am on Portland versus Portland State. Rivalry game, 6.5 with Portland. I think they could win outright as well. Max brought it up earlier. He likes first half money line with Portland. I like that as well. You could take a little bit of your bet, put some money line. I will be doing it as well. I think this game's close and they could win it outright. So give me Portland plus 6.5 in this one. All right, Max. Max is back. He's back in action. Let's rip through your 5 and get out of here, brother.
Yeah, American plus 5.5, Providence -2, Wofford, South Carolina under 141.5, Delaware first half -3.5, Lipscomb -2.
Beautiful.
And
all right,
maybe you guys should fade me because it's been brutal, but maybe not. Who knows?
Real quick,
we'll find out tomorrow.
Max, I can get you 1.5 with Providence. Anyways, Max has been breaking up a little bit. I'm Conor Mack. He's Maxwell Smart. We'll be back tomorrow. We will be better. Internet will be rocking, and hopefully we come with a bunch of goddamn winners tonight. Let's get it, baby. We be pumping. Let's cash. Let's get that cash. Peace.